All right, thank you everyone so much for being with us today. We are so excited and honored to present to you our impact report for the Kendra Scott Women's Entrepreneurial Leadership Institute, highlighting this past academic year 2019-2020. This impact report reflects the success of the WEL Institute's first year, demonstrates how we are empowering women to lead by creating and facilitating moments for women leaders to come together to connect, mentor, support, and guide. Through the WEL Institute, students are learning lessons in real time from real entrepreneurs and business leaders in the community. These female leaders are setting an example on how to encourage the world to follow. We are so happy to have campus stakeholders from the University of Texas at Austin here to present this past academic year. And so I'd like to go ahead and introduce our presenters.
Hi everyone, my name is Jessica Charla and I'm an assistant professor in the Textiles and Apparel program, and I spearheaded the accessory design, development, and merchandising course partnered with Kendra Scott.
Hi everyone, I'm Kelsey Evans and I serve as the Executive Director for Corporate Relations in Texas Development at the University of Texas at Austin.
Hi everyone, my name is Nina Ho. I'm the Assistant Director of the Blackstone Launchpad housed under the School of UGS, and we were in charge of leading the workshops.
Hello everyone.
Sorry, Melissa.
Hello everyone, I'm Melissa Murphy. I'm a professor in the Department of Management in the Macomb School of Business, and I ran the first ever consumer products practicum in the college.
I'm Leslie Robinson, Program Manager for the WEL Institute.
And I'm Jan Ryan, Executive Director of Entrepreneurship and Innovation. I'm actually based out of the College of Fine Arts, where our new center is going to be physically located for the Institute. And I'm one of the early architects for the Institute. So welcome, and let's just move forward. First of all, I just want to say it is a pleasure for us to bring to you today just some of the highlights of this past year with the Women's Entrepreneurial Leadership Institute. This impact report that you see in front of you and that I hope you'll read in your own leisure, this physical document couldn't possibly communicate all the excitement that we feel about this program and the movement, if you will, that's really been set in motion by Kendra on the campus of the University of Texas at Austin. It was just a year ago that we finalized this partnership, which I know others here would agree with me seem a little incredible that it was just 12 months ago. But I believe the pace that we've moved is really directly due to just this amazing collaborative spirit of all the stakeholders. We've had different schools, different disciplines, different deans, but a singular commitment to the mission, which was really very, very genuine. We've organized this document around three common themes or pillars: community, equiping, and empowerment. And I'll go into this in a little bit more detail in just a moment. But first of all, I really want to say that in the last 12 months, this was truly an entrepreneurial exercise. We modeled the entrepreneurial spirit, we learned from doing, and what's especially important to my heart is that we had almost an obsession with the customer's voice, which for us is the student. That voice has been important from the very first conversation with Kendra that I can remember 3 years ago. It's really what the students need, what their feedback is that we're modeling this around. And last spring, if you look at these three categories, we took some time to step back and do some strategic planning. That was really the feedback from the students that drove this. And it helped us to arrive at these three areas of focus. They spoke of the need for empowerment. Female Longhorns are a force, but they often are hesitant to call themselves an entrepreneur or a leader. Whether it's from lack of confidence or just the need for more skills, the ability to help them believe in more possibilities and to see others doing this and to talk to each other, extremely important. They spoke time and again also about the need for community, both with the ability to talk to each other, to learn from other entrepreneurs, but also to talk to mentors outside of campus and to learn from people that can help them to see ahead things that they may have never known about, and to raise that sense of possibility once again. And then another area that's especially important is equipping, understanding the skills that can come into practice. I mean, this whole institute should really be considered a great giant live lab that we're really helping our students put in practice these skills for entrepreneurship and leadership. I think that the world has changed a lot since last spring, and there has never been a more important mission for us than to help this next generation of courageous, creative leaders. And let's go to the next slide, which really bears our mission. The Kendra Scott Entrepreneurial Leadership Institute is all about helping courageous, creative females who will change the world, both within business and outside of business. That we can really enable them to be the architects of what our business and our society will look like going forward. So let me introduce our next speaker, Kelsey Evans from the Tower, working hard to be able to work with the foundational work that she does. I want you to know that it's not just the student voice that is driving a lot of this, it's also what the mentors have to say and what our partners have to say. And Kelsey, I'm going to give it over to you to give us a little feedback on that.
Thanks, Jan. I'm delighted to spend just a minute talking about our partnerships that have really allowed us to flourish and to thrive this first year. It goes without saying that the partnership with Kendra Scott, personally, Kendra Scott, the company, the incredible team across the company that has wrapped around us to help walk with us through this journey has just been incredible. The Kendra Scott board that we have, their partnership. So we are so honored and delighted to be partners with Kendra Scott broadly as a brand. That brand has opened doors for us that we wouldn't have anticipated. And so that's been a great honor for us. Of note, Dell Technologies partnered early on, before when we were just a glimmer in the eye. Dell Technologies came on board as our exclusive technology partner. Of note, Dell has an incredible group of women inside the company called the Dell Women's Entrepreneurship Network, or DWEN. And this is a group both inside Dell and outside of the company that focus really on how to use technology to move your business through and to advance your business. And so the DWEN mentors and the Kendra Scott team have served as mentors. You'll hear a little bit from Nina about the workshops that they all participated in, and that's been fantastic. Of note, we had some supplementary. Obviously, Women in Austin's been a great partner this year in mentoring. Red Velvet is a new and recent partner as we look to the future and shaping the Women's Summit and the activities in 2021. And then, of course, special thanks to Torchy's Taco, Richard's Rainwater, and Aaron Condren for their support at some of our workshops. So we appreciate the partnership, and we look forward to the future with these partners and others as we continue to grow and empower. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Leslie to keep us moving.
Thanks, Kelsey. So just as we tell our female founders to really focus on the why, we really spent a lot of time in the spring focusing on our why for the WEL Institute, and what I like to say, our rally cry. And one of the things that came up with that is, how we're defining empowerment. So you'll see just a visual cluster, a word cluster, and independence really came up. But this was an exercise for our campus stakeholders to think about themselves, and especially as aspiring entrepreneurial leaders, and really kind of then think about that empowering. So one of the ways that we are choosing to define empowering is to really represent and celebrate the success of our students and their enterprises, but also different community members, and especially our UT alums. So our inaugural featured female founders that we were able to highlight in May is Remain, and we have a lot of their information actually up on our website, so I hope that you will check that out. We have an inspiration page dedicated to these featured female founders that is a monthly series, and so this is going to grow and grow. So we're so proud of these women, and especially their recent announcement that they were able to get into the Target incubator. So that's awesome for them. Our June featured female founders were two recent UT alums that founded Pocket Punch. And so also really thrilled to be able to share the WEL Institute platform with them so that they can blast out the successes that they've been able to find with their enterprise Pocket Punch. As well as empowering, we also really wanted to focus in on building community and creating connections for our students, both inside at UT, but also externally. And we're so happy for the support of Kendra Scott in so many different ways, but especially to put a renewed focus on inclusivity and diversity of entrepreneurship, and especially to join forces with them for their Stronger Together campaign. So we actually put forth to our students the challenge to really include inclusivity and diversity in anything and everything that they work on and put forth this upcoming year into the future. And so I'm excited to kind of tell you what that looked like in our next impact report for next year, but this was definitely a great summer initiative that they are to put forward. So speaking about students, we are so happy to be able to put together our student advisory board. It's 23 students strong, very diverse in what they represent on campus in terms of their discipline and their college that they're coming from, but also just the year of study that they are at UT. And so they've been fast at work this summer, coming up with committees and really formalizing the student advisory board so that it can truly be an institute for students and by students. The other thing with our building community is we have a lot of different stakeholders, and especially around different areas of campus. And so our campus stakeholders are just important to our leadership. And here they are listed out in names, and we actually will have all of this listed in our About Us section. So I hope that you will take a minute to learn more about the different campus stakeholders. But the WEL Institute is actually directed by a board of directors of deans from across the college. So those colleges that are represented are McCombs, and then also the College of Fine Arts. And then we also have undergraduate studies and other representatives on campus. And so they provide our fearless leadership for the direction of the WEL Institute. And we look forward to providing them with this impact report and the updates that we've been able to do this past year. Finally, one thing that we have been able to build out in addition this summer is an alumni advisory board. This slide doesn't do justice to all the different alums that we've been able to engage with in really just the past couple of weeks. And so it's actually a 30-person strong alumni advisory board, and look to give updates on that in the next year as well, except to say that our alums are so excited to be involved and to share the experiences that they have as they've graduated and moved on in their careers from UT. Another way that we're building community, and especially through representation and visualization, is across our social media platforms. So if you haven't already followed us, follow us at KS Institute UT on all the different platforms, and then share the love with our handles and our hashtags, especially KSXUT Austin, because we're quite active and our students are taking over those accounts and really creating that student voice and what our presence is going to look like on all the different social media platforms. So it's growing, and like and retweet and reshare the love. On the equipping side, really this is our chance for students to have hands-on tools through workshops and curriculum, and especially the courses, which is the key component for the WEL Institute. One thing that we've been really interested in is getting feedback from our students on areas and topics and themes that they're most excited about learning about, or that they need to learn about. And so we've been able to theme out from starting a business to mentorship, inclusivity, diversity, and leadership. And then we will create programming around these topics, especially with our Women's Summit that's going to come up, but more on that later. So with that, I would like to actually transition to the faculty who taught our spring 2020 courses. We actually might have just lost Melissa. I don't know where she went. So Jessica, I will forward onto your slides if you don't mind going first.
Sure, go ahead. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the accessory design, development, and merchandising course. The goal of this course was to give students a real-life view of how a product goes through the process of research, ideation, to prototype development, and finally the product launch through social media channels. It gave students a peek behind the curtain of how the team at Kendra Scott creates and produces a sample product. Next slide. Throughout the course, students engaged with 18 different Kendra Scott employees from 11 different departments at the company. Students worked in teams from different schools across campus while completing 5 project briefs. Next slide. The project briefs began with consumer research, where students sought out data from the Gen Z demographic as their target market. The course ended with a virtual CAD prototype of each group's original design and social media video exhibition, where students asked the community to vote on their favorite piece. Next slide. The 24-hour event resulted in over 5,000 voter submissions. The winning Elizabeth Cuff earring will be launched at Kendra Scott stores in the fall. In the next slide. So throughout the course, peer reviews and self-reflections were conducted after every project so that students could pivot to address challenges when needed. They each took on different leadership roles throughout every project. And the next slide. So now I'm going to show you just a quick video, which is an overview of the course put together by UT student Alyssa Flores. And narrating the video is VP of Design Denise Chumley.
We had so much fun this semester working with students on this product lifecycle class. We really wanted to approach it differently than classes in the past. We really wanted to give a well-rounded approach to how we at Kendra Scott bring a product from concept to fruition. We brought in the best in terms of our department heads and team players to share their knowledge, to engage with the students in a way that was kind of a peek behind the curtain and how a Kendra Scott piece gets made. My name is Denise Chumley. I'm the VP of Design at Kendra Scott, and I'm also a fellow Longhorn, so hook 'em.
Sorry. This is an example of the CAD version of the winning piece that's going to launch in select Kendra Scott stores in the fall. So we're excited for that. And now I'm going to pass it over to Nina from Blackstone Launchpad.
Actually, we're going to reverse back and cover Melissa's slide. So apologies, Melissa. I'm just glad to see you're back.
I'm back. Thank you so much, Jessica. It's been a pleasure working a part of this Kendra Scott WEL Institute. I teach many classes here at the McCombs School of Business, and this is by far my favorite class to teach. We build it completely from scratch, and so I'm excited to tell you a little bit about it. So the CPG class, here's a snapshot of the overview of the class. This is really exciting. We actually, in the entrepreneurship minor, have representation from all of the colleges on campus, and so we had a large diversity of students, men and women, taking this class, all ages from freshmen to seniors. Some of them had never even taken a class in entrepreneurship before. I joke that they don't know how to spell entrepreneurship yet, while others had bigger hopes and dreams. So they all started at different stages in their entrepreneurship and leadership journeys, which was really exciting to see them all come together. It's broken up in 4 units where they identified a problem and worked to find a solution to eventually launch their own brands. And we had close to 25 people involved in the community helping them do this, starting with the Chief Marketing Officer, Mindy Perry from Kendra Scott, to kick us off at the beginning of the semester, and having Clayton Christopher, one of the big names in Austin CPG space, the founder of Deep Eddy Vodka, as our mentor, as well as founder of Rochelle Ray, Ray Cosmetics, helping the students develop these 7 projects that you see on the 7th or on this side here. We also went to the Texas Inventions Works lab and worked with a number of stakeholders across campus to help their projects come to life. So a little bit of a preview of mentors and student comments. One thing that I wanted to highlight here is from one of our students, Ashley, who said that this past semester changed her life. She never thought she could be an entrepreneur, but she joined our class, met her team, and built what is now a startup. This course and the Kendra Scott Institute have enabled her and her team to build a company from the ground up and have provided resources along the way to get there. So this is exciting news. So I wanted to show you a sample of their projects that we had. The oleum hairbrush, this group is really excited and are prototyping currently this summer. And it's an oil removing hairbrush as a replacement for dry shampoo. Nuff Foods is a healthy Lunchable for kids, as well as we have a protein bar on the next slide that is a pre and post protein bar that they're working on prototyping now. And then the Dry Vine team, which is a white space, an opportunity in terms of coming up with an alcohol-free wine alternative for those that don't like to drink or can't drink for health reasons. So I'm going to kick it over to Nina now to talk a little bit more about our workshops.
Yes, so the workshops supported by the Blackstone Launchpad had the goal of continuing to equip with a focus on reach, crossing as many schools as possible, and being as accessible as possible. So our creativity and entrepreneurship workshop had the goal of equipping students with ideation skills on their entrepreneur journey, and led by the amazing faculty from the School of Design Creative Technologies, really helped students connect the dots between creativity and entrepreneurship. The three topics that we covered were what is a creation mindset, helping students better understand their creativity style, and then practicing a group ideation exercise around topics of how might we add value on campus, where students ultimately form small teams and pitch their ideas at the end. From a quote from Julie Yu, a Master of Music student in clarinet performance, shared her thoughts, and she expressed that she really enjoyed meeting, collaborating with women who had different talents and perspectives to bring to the table. For her, it was both fun and empowering to tap into their their collective creativity and generate these ideas together. So again, re-emphasizing this idea of cross-collaboration under the banner of the WEL Institute. So this is a snapshot of our by the numbers for the Creativity and Entrepreneurship Workshop. We are able to get a clear insight into representation of schools as well as majors, and better understanding the students we're serving and how to continue our targeting moving forward. Our subsequent workshop in the spring was focused on female empowerment through mentorship. The goal was to educate students on the value of mentorship broadly in their career and life, and also to deeply connect them with industry professionals. The workshop kicked off with a fireside chat between Molly Joseph, CEO of United Healthcare, along with Tom Nolan, president of Kendra Scott. And the two really focused on the core topics of mentorship, personal leadership, as well as women in the workplace and that evolving role. And that workshop was followed up by a speed dating round with industry professionals ranging from legal to the arts, and really helping students even approach the idea of mentorship softly. One of our students, Mariel Kalara, Communication Leadership Junior, as well as a UGS student council, shared her thoughts on the experience. The vibrant energy of being surrounded by other young and driven female professionals was absolutely inspiring. For her, she was able to find new mentors that night by connecting with supportive female entrepreneurs who were genuinely interested in her story and helping her grow as a leader. Again, this is our snapshot and helping us to better understand the types of content we can cultivate moving forward and the different schools that we can better serve. And with that, I'm going to hand it back to Leslie to share the exciting things that we have in store for the following school year.
Thanks, Nina. Yeah, so as much as we are celebrating this past academic year, you know, we're really looking ahead to the second year of the WEL Institute, but also recognizing how dramatically the world has shifted. And so we feel like now more than ever is the time to really empower creativity and entrepreneurial mindset. And so we're going to do that in a couple of ways this fall semester and upcoming spring semester, and really with that student voice, the student advisory board along for, you know, what that's going to look like and feel like. So one thing that's really exciting is that we have enhancements on our website really focused on inspiring the stories of our female founders, as well as becoming a content hub with a student curated blog that's going to be coming soon. So please keep checking back or join our mailing list for these awesome updates, but it's only going to keep growing from here. And so we're excited for that to be, you know, a main resource that the WEL Institute has to go to share all of the great content resources around empowering and equipping and building community. Also really exciting is that renovations have begun on our beautiful space. So as you can see behind us in some of our Zoom backgrounds, but also on the screen, these are some beautiful drawings of what this space is going to look like, and really in terms of building community, the students are going to have the awesome chance to build the culture of the space and really have it be a place for, you know, creativity and for them to come together in community to ideate and to you know, talk through their successes, but also to find beauty in the failures. And so we're really excited for this space. We have a tentative save the date of a virtual ribbon cutting for October 2nd. We also are thrilled to sponsor additional courses. So we'll be sponsoring 3 courses in the fall. We'll be sponsoring, again, Dr. Murphy's Consumer Products Entrepreneurship Practicum, as well as Jessica Charla's accessory design development and merchandising course that she shared earlier. And then also Jan Ryan is going to be teaching a course with Kendra Scott focused on women in entrepreneurship. And so the students are so lucky to have these opportunities, and the courses have been really popular. And so we know that there's going to be, you know, differences of what the courses look like when they are proposed, but we know that the content's going to be relevant to them, especially with what's happening right now. So we have more in store in terms of our workshops and our content, and especially with our awesome campus partner in Blackstone Launchpad. We do have an upcoming workshop that's going to be focused on funding for female founders. And then we also have our entrepreneurial mindset series that Blackstone Launchpad is going to be facilitating for us. So check the website. It's going to be great content for all different areas of where you might be in, you know, thinking of a venture, having one, or just starting out. And finally, save the date. We are so excited and thrilled to be able to have our Women's Summit scheduled for November 17th. And so this is going to be a virtual conference that's focused around our pillars of empowering, equipping, and building community. And it's going to be an interactive day, but also with content that's going to be on demand for students to keep coming back to throughout their time, so that they can interact with the content when it makes sense for them. And so again, more information on that will be on our website, but save the date, pencil it in. It's going to be a great celebration of our female founders on campus, our alumni in the community, the Austin startup ecosystem, and, you know, nationally some other partners that are going to be coming in to help us, you know, curate this day. And finally, we will be celebrating big and strong and loud our International Women's Day in 2021, and that is going to be on March 8th. And we're hoping to have our Women's Summit 2.0 on that date. And so again, be on the lookout for what's to come in that regard. But we're excited to be able to keep putting out this content for the students to interact with. So with that, I'm going to pass it off to Jan Ryan to close us out.
Thanks, Leslie. And I just want to say, oh my goodness, I'm already all over excited again. But thank you for letting us highlight some of the things that we did last year. But buckle your seatbelt, because this is going to be a very bright spot in the fall. We have a few surprises still left for you as well. And we just hope that you'll come join us and support us and give us that kind of feedback that keeps this engine running. So be safe, everyone. Thank you for coming and listening to this. And I hope you'll go back and really look at more of the details. Hook 'em.
Hook 'em. Thank y'all.